Welcome back to the Super Movie Bros podcast. I'm Michael.
And I'm Kyle, and I did not steal your story.
Yes, you did, and I'm still waiting for that magazine to prove that you didn't.
So this week we're talking about Secret Window,
Yes.
um, Johnny Depp flick.
Can I say something like right off the bat?
Sure.
So, in the beginning of this movie, or excuse me, at whatever point in which the window is introduced,
It's very
uh,
very early on.
yeah, okay. So the dresser is moved out of the way to reveal the window. She's like, "Ooh, a secret
For
window."
a secret
And then
party.
my wife, being I guess smarter than me, is like, "That's so fucking stupid. They'd be able to see the window from outside the house." And I didn't think about that, and that's actually hilarious. Yeah, I you can't
Yeah,
really
I
you
don't.
can't really hide a window.
No, you can't. Not really. Well, I don't know if it was secret, as in like no one knew
No,
about it. It's
I
like
know,
a
I know, I know.
window they
But it
hit.
was just really funny.
But yeah,
But yeah, yeah. Go ahead and tell us how much you love this shitty, stupid movie, Kyle.
yeah. So this is a very
Did you already know? Because you didn't,
what?
you had no reaction to the fact that I just said this
Well,
about
we
that.
purposely picked these next two episodes to be. Or
A lot of people on IMDb really think very highly of this movie,
So
though.
we purposely picked movies that these next two episodes that are, I don't know if they're below 50% on Rotten Tomatoes,
They both are. They both
but
are.
they're
But they
just
actually, I think, what I checked, they're both at 46%. They both have a lot of, I wouldn't say disdain, but like they're not highly,
yeah.
regarded. I think you and I both probably had a hard time finding movies that are explicitly bad that we liked, just because we have such great taste.
Uh,
But we did try to
s-
find movies that enough people consider bad,
oh, so yeah, so we went out of our way to kind of pick a movie that we thought was kind
that
of
we thought was
you
good, that
yeah,
other
that
people
kind of
thought was bad.
universally was not really liked, I
Yes,
guess.
yes.
This one is I've always liked it because it's just I don't know, I guess I watched it at the right time, the right spot, and I just happen to really love the setting of this movie a lot. It's a very like comfort because it all takes place kind of at a cabin on a lake.
Comfort?
Yeah, I know it's weird. I know it's very very
That's a
weird.
very
I
strange
think I watched it
thing to
like
say.
in the mountains in Colorado, like I was on vacation or something. I think I was like watching it in a setting that was very similar, and so I don't know
I
why.
get it.
I
I
don't
get
know
it.
why I have a
No,
soft
I get
spot for
that.
this
I get
movie.
that. I get that because to be fair, despite how it's so obvious where this movie is going
Because
the
hold on, let me.
entire
That's what I
time.
was gonna ask you. When did you go? All right, I already know what's happening.
Whenever you're gonna laugh at this,
No, no, it's very very.
when he had the inner monologue in the car, when is that? The opening shot of the movie.
Yeah,
When he had the opening internal dialogue, I'm like, yeah,
it's him.
it's him.
I know. Yeah, it's.
Because they created a dichotomy between two parts of him. Why else would you do that?
I know. Well, at 14, 13 years old, I did not pick up. So the first time I watched this, I was actually like didn't see it coming.
Gotcha.
Now looking back now, it's like
Well,
so
I'm
obvious.
watching it at 30, so
Yeah,
it's way different.
it's so obvious and it's so predictable, which kind of does take away how much I liked it at the first. I still watched it again for this probably my fifth viewing, and I still like it, but I still know it's a very, very, very flawed movie.
Yeah.
So long story short, Johnny Depp's in the woods and he's getting accused of plagiarism by John Turturro,
Mhm.
and pretty much that's the movie of them going back and forth of harassment,
John
threatening.
Turturro
Yeah.
or Johnny Depp.
Yeah. So whoever it is, yeah. So and he's like, "You stole my story,"
Yeah.
and he's actually pretty solid in this movie.
Well, you're totally ruining what I was saying there. I feel like we gloss over it. It sounds like I'm an idiot. What I'm saying is he's accused of plagiarism essentially by an entity he made up in his head.
Yes.
Is what I'm saying.
So it's, I mean, yeah. Spoiler. It's a guy pretty much seeing shit and going crazy in
Yeah.
a cabin. So it's all in his head. None of this stuff's actually happening, except for the actually like explicit murders that he ends up committing
It
himself.
kind of starts to feel like if there's a third character that saw the thing happen, it happened, and if there's not, then it didn't.
Yeah, and
Except for one, very specific incident where the guy was driving by and waved.
yes.
That's
And
the
so
only time
that's
where
the only
there's
time where it goes, oh, maybe they're gonna do something different here.
yeah.
But they don't.
No.
No. It is very, 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 very predictable. But it's I don't know, it's the atmosphere and the setting, and I guess just like I like the idea of the play. I like the idea of the plot. I like
No,
but
that's
I
fair.
could have done a lot better with it. It's actually so
You
so
specifically?
it's this is funny.
You could have done better than Stephen King. Is what you're
Anyone
saying?
could have done it better. Well, so this is what I'm getting at.
Oh, no, it's fair.
So this is kind of very meta because this is a short story by or novella by Stephen King,
Mm.
and the director got it and made a movie out of it, but changed the ending from Stephen King's.
That is very meta.
So
That's
in the movie,
super meta.
so in the movie, you know, John Turturro is yelling that you took my story and changed the ending and made it worse. And then in real life, the director took Stephen King's story and changed the ending, and
What's-
most people prefer the ending of the book.
What's Stephen King's ending?
Let me get it out. I'd had it. I know I took a
I'm
because I knew
riveted.
you would ask.
I'm riveted.
So in the most
This ending was
So-
so stupid.
yeah. So in the movie, Johnny Depp kills his wife and her lover, but in the book,
Well, they would have been ex-wife if he would have signed the papers. Just to be fair.
in the novel, in the novel, Johnny Depp is killed before he can do any of that ending bullshit they do at the end.
By who? Was it the sheriff? Because that would have been great.
I don't. Yeah, I'd have to read the story. I'm sorry, I wasn't that prepared on this one.
You didn't read an entire novella
No.
for the sake of our movie podcast.
So but no, I did not.
I would actually think more highly of it if it was the sheriff guy because it's interesting that he seems so disinterested in why does nobody care about dogs in this movie?
No one cares about dogs in this movie.
Except the guy that killed him. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Except the guy that killed the dog. He's like, nobody cares that I killed my dog and I think it was somebody else.
No one cares, and they're just sitting there, just your stereotypical police force that's like bumbling, fumbling
Yeah.
dummies that don't know
I
how to
think
do
they
their job.
I think they overdid the correction though, because then once he
Yeah,
knows
then
that
they're
it's
all-
him, then he seems like he even holds himself more competently.
Yes.
But maybe to be fair, what that could just be is that was his perception of it. Because the one thing that I thought they did really, really well was
Compliment.
yeah, I have a big compliment. It's only one. But the lady that cleans for him.
Mrs. Garvey.
Yeah, I think they pretty much confirmed she wasn't real either.
I've never figured that out.
I think it is because whenever she walks in and that place is trashed, I think that was another person created in his head.
I've never really got an answer on that.
To be honest, especially
But
with
that's
what
good. That's good. I like it.
I think.
I would have liked a more open ending. Is he real? Is he not real? Kind of thing, rather than
Yeah.
oh,
Well,
no, it's Johnny
exactly.
Depp.
But see, that's what it makes it a thing. Because we don't necessarily in all reality, it could be that the cleaning lady was real and he just trashed the place
Yeah.
in between the time that we last saw him and when she showed up. But to me, it's better to think that was another thing he imagined. But the idea that it's open ended, cool. So yeah, it would have probably made it better if it wasn't like an explicitly given ending. And maybe that means they wouldn't have done dumb stuff like he sees someone in the mirror and you would have obviously known
Yeah.
by the angles that that's you. But even in the movie, the angles don't make that obvious because it probably was someone else to make us think it was somebody else. You know what I mean? Like it was really dumb. It was really dumb.
Yeah.
Oh, I broke a window.
I
broke my
speaking of
shower
window,
door.
my favorite window thing in this movie is when he goes to punch Johnny Depp, and Johnny Depp just kind of
Just
moves
moves
out
out
the
of the
window, and
way
he just
and-
kind of pops the window of the
Yeah.
car, and he goes, "Ah."
Yeah.
It's just so random, like doesn't fit in with the rest of the movie, or especially
Yeah.
when he's going crazy and he does the whole rah rah. He starts like barking like a dog.
Yeah.
It's like really, really weird. Like overacting. I think like
Yeah.
it's really kind of bizarre.
It is.
So one of the things I wanted to do is I wanted to read the guy. So the director of this movie is more of a writer, and I want to read you the movies he's written, so you can be blown away that he can write such good stuff and then make such a shitty movie.
Gotcha.
So the guy that wrote it,
Wait a minute. Why are you saying that? I thought this was
I can love a shitty movie. I like it. I love this movie. I don't love this movie. I really like this movie, but I admit that it's not good. Like I wouldn't say, yeah, guys, I do a movie podcast. What's your favorite movie? Secret Window.
okay.
I'm not
All
leading
right.
with that.
All right.
I'm smarter than that. But it's just, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. It's like fast food. I don't know. It's something like if I was flipping channels, I would leave it on just because I don't know why. But
I gotcha. I think more highly of the fast food that I eat.
okay, so the director is David Coep,
Yeah.
and he has written Jurassic Park, The Lost World, Jurassic Park, War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, the
Wait,
first Mission Impossible, Carlito's Way, Jack Ryan, the original Spider-Man, The Dial of Destiny, and then he directed Secret Window, and then that really terrible movie, also with Johnny Depp, that Mordecai movie.
oh yeah, I didn't watch
So
it.
it's like he writes really good stuff, and then
I
he.
don't agree. I would say the only thing there that I would say was like
You don't
really
think those
good.
movies are good?
I think that those are all movies that could be saved by directors,
Oh, they're all Spielberg's, and yeah,
except. I mean, despite how Brian De Palma also is excellent, but Carlito's Way is the only one that I felt like was written really well to a
okay.
point where a director can't save it; they can only improve it.
Hey, I'll take that. That's a pretty fair criticism.
Because the rest of them, like Mission Impossible, yeah, that could easily, like, that's not. It's not some
Well, also
masterpiece of writing.
also a lot of those
Neither is
things.
Jurassic Park. That's entirely
Well, now that I'm
dependent
thinking about it,
on
a
the
lot of those things
director.
already had previous, like there was already a Jurassic Park book, there was
Yeah,
already a
Michael
Mission Impossible
Crichton, or
show.
however you say his name.
Indiana Jones is pretty well written, I think.
Not the ones he wrote.
Well, no, did I say the
The
original?
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull
Did I?
and Dial of
I already
Destiny.
forgot what I read. Did I say the original one?
No.
Yeah, he just wrote the shitty ones. No.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So yes, I can see how he made this movie and made those movies. Yeah.
Okay, fine, fair.
For
So,
all we know, Brian De Palma was like, I'm not gonna film anything that he wrote for Carlito's Way.
so what would you feel about his wife, the wife situation in this? Like, do you do you
What do you mean?
think the way he was like her and her lover, and at the end them coming up, and then them even just I don't know that whole bit at the end, it's kind of just silly.
Yeah, no, it was all just kind of ridiculous to me.
It is, and I don't ever.
I think it would have been even more ridiculous if a third person came up for him to just walk up to him to
Yeah.
die. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that.
No, no, no. But the most insane part of it is the idea that, like, for one, the idea that the whole he fertilized the corn crops with dead people,
Yeah.
like their bodies, like as if that would be so
And they're all
crazy to us. But then the idea that the final shot is him taking like a bite of the corn
with
was
his broken
so
raw braces and like
yeah, which
yeah.
was so stupid. But I guess so if we're gonna be like less just like shit talky with it and more like get down to the nitty gritty of what's wrong. If you wanted this to work, you needed to make
What would
us.
you fix about it?
I would give him likable traits from the beginning. Make him a more likable person. Because by the end of it, we've just engaged like with how he's weird with the braces and like
Well, the
he
first
tries
scene
to
is
hit on the
him
girl.
threatening and his wife and stuff.
Yeah.
So from the
No, no,
very
no.
get go, he's not likable.
That's understandable though. Like that was understandable.
Yeah.
From there,
From that
show him
perspective.
with other people in a way that makes him more relatable. Instead, they just make him an asshole from the beginning, and so you really don't care what
Yeah.
happens to him. But they also don't make like the wife cheated on him, and it's like, nobody likes that. She's I hate to say it, but when we talk about likability, for a 2-hour movie, you got to be good looking. She's not that good looking. Ted just looks like an asshole and acts like an asshole. So there's nobody in this
Oh
movie.
yeah, you don't even really
The
care
only
about that side of
the
this
only
conflict.
person that I feel like you root for or like is like the lawyer-ish guy that he hires to kind of
Yeah,
help
I
him.
do like his
He's
little
the
private
only
investigator.
yeah, his PI guy is the only person that I'm like I like that
Yeah,
guy in the
yeah.
whole movie.
Yeah, he's I like him, and I like as dumb and silly as they make him. I like the sheriff.
No, me too. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right.
I like the sheriff.
But he's in 2 scenes.
I
Well, 3.
Yeah,
But like that's it.
yeah, but they are. Yeah, they're the only.
And I don't like him in the first scene.
They're
'cause
the
he
only
just
two
seems like
characters that feel like they have some like. I don't know. I guess I don't want to say likability, but just something to root for. or something to-
realistic personalities of people that you would meet that aren't assholes.
Yeah, yeah, and actually, it's some of the best scenes are when Johnny Depp is talking to his his PI. And he's
Yeah.
like, well, this is how what we're gonna do. We're gonna
Because
go over
you
there.
know it's real.
Yeah, that part is because that's not in his head.
Yeah.
So it really sucks. I
Yeah.
think does he also get a screwdriver or no?
He got a axe.
Yeah, he got an axe along with the old
slit
man.
his
Yeah,
throat or whatever.
and so that's when the movie starts getting just really.
Goes.
It just
off
really
the
gets indulgent
rails.
with itself.
Yeah.
And like just like I don't know. It's like getting high on its own supply.
It
Like
is. It really is.
it's just it gets
And its supply
stupid
isn't very
bonk,
good.
yeah, and it gets bogged down with trying to be psychological and try to be like this, but I don't know how anyone thought that. I guess you're confined to the original story, but how did anyone leave this going? Now that's an ending.
They may not have. It could be that one of the, because when you're making a movie, you don't know for sure that like you're gonna be able to pull it off the way that you want to, and you could be in it and be like, oh, we don't have any other locations, we can't afford any more time. We got to make what we can out of what we've got. It could be that, or it could be. I mean, also, like I said, there are plenty of reviews on IMDb that are like really
Yeah, but a lot of people call this
like,
underrated.
yeah,
Um, I think it's I think it's pretty much appropriately rated on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't think it's
I
the
don't know.
worst.
It's at a 6.5 on Rotten Tomatoes, and I would say it's more like a
6.5 on IMDb,
5.5 plus. So like maybe 5.5, 5.7, one of those.
and I'd probably give it a 5. Yeah, 6, a low 6, like the lowest you can go, lower than 6.0, but still a 6. It's but yeah, I think it's I think it's appropriately rated. I'm also a little bit of a fan. But I did after I watched the movie, I just got online. I was like, is anyone else out in the world like this movie?
A lot.
And there is. It's not as fun watching it when you're 29 when you are 13 because it was
Fair.
way more fun watching it when I didn't know what the hell was going on, and I was like, what? I never saw that coming. That's fun. I feel like I don't ever get those moments anymore, but
True.
especially with you because you'll call stuff out from the get-go.
There's a feel to certain things.
Yeah, you and our other buddy Richard, you'll be sitting there, and 10 minutes in the movie, you go, it's this guy. Please don't be right, because now that's stuck in my head, and now it's gonna be sitting there, and I'm like, ugh, yeah, I hated it.
Yeah.
I remember I went.
That's why it's best for movies. It's best to watch movies that's not the setup.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the whole payoff is
Whenever the setup is inevitable, you only have a few directions you can go.
yeah,
And then if you're telling the story in a way that makes sense, you kind of have to articulate it early on in some sort of form or fashion.
yeah,
Because otherwise, it's one of those movies that are way worse that try to be something else until they do a twist. And then everything you see before that is like you negated that in every scene before you revealed it was this. You know what I mean?
hmm
Like it just creates massive plot holes.
There's also a lot of just Johnny Depp sitting in a robe and laying down, of him just sleeping. He's always sleeping. He's
One of
always
my favorite scenes. They were very cozy.
so they. I mean, like I said,
Or
it
he
is
would wake up and eat Doritos. I'm like, that was the
Yeah.
most relatable he was in the whole movie. He just woke up and ate Doritos. I'm like, me, dude, me.
Yeah, no, I thought about that. Yeah, with the old Doritos logo. Yeah, it's kind
Yeah.
of like, yeah, I liked it. Seeing that bag. I don't know why. It's
Oh
not
no, because those were the good old
something
days.
about. I don't know. Maybe I'm not smart enough, but I feel like there's some sort of theme with him eating that I'm not picking up on, or maybe that's just some weird thing.
No, I get what you're saying. Yeah, we're not smart enough to understand it, but yeah, they did always.
They do focus on him
Here-
eating a lot.
Can I be honest with you? It's always snacking, and so that kind of felt like the little clues that the cleaning lady wasn't real. As absurd as that sounds, it feels like a jump, but it's just like he would just pick up a bag of Doritos that was there, but otherwise, like, and whenever he
Well,
opened
also
the,
puts in
remember
the
when he
drawer.
opens the drawer and he has to like move the Doritos bag, you're kind of like you do notice that you're like, oh, he's a little dirty.
Yeah,
Everybody has a cleaning lady, and then whenever you see his house from the perspective of his wife, and it's absolutely
Filthy.
trashed.
Yeah.
I think those were our clues that the cleaning lady also wasn't real. Like I said,
No,
this
I
is
think
the
you're right.
only
I think
part of
you're
the
right.
movie that's at all intelligently
Because
written.
the only time you really, other than when he's with his PI, the only time that you really know that you're not seeing the world through his eyes is when his wife finally shows up
Yeah,
and she goes, "You're filthy as shit."
yeah,
Yeah.
and then that
And then the house is already
Yeah.
just way dirtier than what you've been seeing.
yes,
And so that's what I would think you've talked me into. Mrs. Garvey is not real.
yeah.
Hmm.
Mm.
I've never really considered that. But I did have her mentioned and written down because I think she does mean something, but I just couldn't put my finger on it. And I think that is she's probably just a figment. It's a way of him
Well,
living
I think
through this filth
I think
without
what it,
having to actually.
and I think it's not just that. I think it's also the idea that he can't be out in the middle of the woods truly alone. He needed a figure that was looking after him in his
Yeah.
head. You know what I mean?
No,
Like he needed that, and so he created it.
I get that. And so, what do you think about Shooter? Is he's a little bit too wacky to like? It's weird. I don't know. It's a weird.
I mean,
He's
if I'm
almost
gonna
too
look
over
at
the
that,
top that you kind of already know he's got to be fake or something because it's
if I'm gonna look at it psychologically, what I think that is okay. He was cheated on,
yes.
and Ted does at least come
He's
across
pretty
as
understandable actually as a
100%.
like the
Yeah,
scorned
and he
the
has
partner of a scorned lover. He's
and he
like,
ha-
hey man, I just want to like get this over with and leave.
and he has his shit together.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
I'm
I
not
think what it is it's an inferiority
can't
thing.
throw a punch, but
Yeah, not fair. But to be fair, like if he's like a well-adjusted person, perhaps he has never needed to because that's not necessarily how he handles things generally.
it's
You know what I mean? Like, he's got his shit together. So I
the
think
whole
what
backstory about why he can't hit and he's never been able to hit, doesn't needed to hit because he's just a balanced guy. And so when he goes to throw the punch, it
I
all
get
makes
we
sense.
we understand what kind of movies you like, Kyle, but we're just
I don't want that scene. I don't need that explained to me.
yeah. No, so I think what that is an inferiority complex kind of thing on Johnny Depp's character's part, where it's like, oh, this dude that's more well adjusted than me, got my wife over me, and so I'm gonna and I it probably demasculated him to be cheated on like that. So he created this entity or this personality
Yeah,
that is more of a badass than he
yeah,
is. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
It's what he sees himself if he could be get himself
What
to
he
be like.
wants to be.
Yeah, what he wants to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I guess is. I always remember when I watching this movie. I always, for some reason, think that Shooter is Amish, but he's not really Amish. He just has an Amish
That
like
hat,
hat.
dude. That
It's a
hat.
stupid ass hat.
It's just such a stupid.
And then when Johnny Depp puts it on,
That's when the movie
I'm
has completely
gone
come
off
full
the.
circle as a dumb fucking movie.
Yeah, when he's sitting there and he starts doing the
It makes you
jaw stuff,
yeah, yeah.
and you're like, why is he like? And
No, that made sense to me because it's him doing the accent,
yeah, yeah, but it's
which apparently so weighs on your jaw. But I got it. I knew it because like I said, I knew what it was doing from the first scene. I knew what this movie was doing.
because that was my biggest thing that would have made it wouldn't have made for a good podcast. But my main question for you was like, when did Michael go? I was like, in this probably in the first 10 seconds, I
It's
guess.
just it's just because of the I don't know the way if the other voice didn't feel like it was disagreeing with him, I wouldn't have thought that.
Yeah. No, I could see that. Um, I think I think I mean there's not a whole lot to talk about this movie. I mean, other than it's a weirdly I don't know why I find it cozy, but because it's not really.
Honestly, you did convince me on that. If I understand whenever you're in like a different kind of place and then something else is like that too.
Yeah,
Because dude, when you're on vacation and you watch a movie that you would watch at home,
it hits different.
it hits different in a bad way normally. Like you're like, this
Yeah,
isn't like I'm not at home. I don't want to be watching this. But if you watch something that is different while you're in a different place, you're like, ooh,
I'm almost
okay.
certain I watched
You
this
might
movie.
actually bring it home with you.
I'm almost certain I watched this movie in Colorado in the summer, like while it was raining outside around the mountains, which is like
That would be the perfect
perfect
way
for
to
this.
watch it.
Like the
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
only time it makes elevates
The
this
only way that
movie.
makes the movie worth it.
Yeah, I mean, in a way that I think the setting, and maybe I'm just
I actually watched next week's movie in the desert in the middle of a very serious conflict.
see that would be really cool.
Yeah. That's a little hint for you guys for next week.
That would be on a broken ass phone, all bootleg. Um, no, the setting itself is almost a character for me in this movie. I know that sounds kind of cliche and silly, but
I always hate wording things that way.
yeah,
But I'll give it to you in the sense that it's the best part of this movie.
okay, yeah, give me some on this movie.
Yeah. No, no. Hey, I truly mean it when I say the idea of the cleaning lady not being real and that reveal, in my opinion, reveal, because technically it could be wrong. But like I thought that was the one part of this movie that was excellently,
Okay, I'm gonna put you on the
fantastically done.
spot. We're gonna do something they did in you did learn in school. Okay, since you've been so mean to the movie, now you have to give it 2 put-ups and 1 put-down. So what are 2 good things and 1 bad thing?
Okay.
You're forced to say 2 good things about this movie.
All right. So one good thing, obviously, I just said it, so I'm repeating myself, but they did a good job subverting me with the cleaning lady. Um, I did feel that every scene kept me mildly interested to continue to see what was going to happen next.
It does keep your attention enough to see you want to see the ending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like while I didn't like his character, like I was interested in what, how he was going to approach everything because he kind of felt like a, I wouldn't say blank slate, but like just, I didn't know how he was going to handle things. Um, and this was one of the dumbest movies I've seen in a very
So the
long
put
time.
down is just dumb.
It's
It is
very
very
dumb.
dumb. It is very dumb. But it's I don't know. It's my dumb movie. But I have there's other worse movies than this that I like more than this. I don't know. This was just what came to my mind when I think of
You said there's other dumb movies that you like more than this?
yeah. There's a bad movie. I don't put me on the spot and make me name them, but
Name one.
I really like Christmas with the Cranks, and I really like Deck the Halls.
I guess
And
that
people
one.
hate those
I
movies.
guess the issue with those is that, or my issue with those as your answer is the idea that
Well, they're Christmas themed.
those weren't trying to be smart like this.
Okay,
movie
yeah,
is.
yeah. No, those movies are just bad attempts at humor. This movie was trying to
Did
be.
you ever see the one with? I never saw it, but what I read about it was like it's 5 times worse than this. It's the Matthew McConaughey and Hathaway one.
I never watched that. It's
From what I read of it, that's one of the dumbest movies. Like, and with one
I
of the
forget what it's
dumbest
even
plot
called.
twists
Yeah,
ever.
it's like Synchronicity.
We might have to do that. We might have to do
Sync-
that movie for this podcast just so we can talk about how dumb it is.
That movie got released and just disappeared.
Yeah.
Like no one ever talks
Because
about that
there's
movie.
like this certain kind of way you can make a trailer look so like if they did it right, which you can't imagine
Well, you
how
can
to
make
do it
anything
right.
look good through a trailer.
No, I know. But whenever it is that mystery thing, you can make something look so interesting, and there literally is no story way you could make it actually work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
There's some stuff in this movie where there's some serious plot holes where you're like, how do you not like? It would be very obvious it was him,
Yeah.
but you can just it's a movie, so you can kind of glance past.
Yeah, the
it.
watch alone should have connected him to it and it been the end of it.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. That's all I have to say about Secret Window.
Hey, I think we did a pretty good job talking about this movie. I think we did it more justice than I thought we would. I don't not recommend it. I think because I know that some people like it, go for it. I think you don't have to think
I
it's
can see how
stupid like
someone
I
could
do.
be in the mood for this type of movie,
Absolutely.
and then it's really easy, digestible
Yeah.
movie, and it's nothing. You're not gonna sit there like if my dad can watch this movie and not be not confused, then you can watch it because he gets confused by everything,
I gotcha.
and he wasn't even confused when I watched it with him.
Nice.
So like that's your standard right there. If Wayne's not confused, then it's not a very psychological
I'd
movie.
love to know what he thinks about my movie from next week.
He's never seen it.
I know, but I just meant if he were to watch it, jerk.
We'll send it to him.
Yeah.
All right. That's been Secret Window on Super Movie Bros. Like, subscribe. What else can they do? I don't know. Comment.
Yeah, comment. I'll respond.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you.
Talk shit. We love it all.
Yes.
All right. See you next week.
See you next week.